I've owned my 2006 Z4M Roadster for over 3 years now. In that time, I've put over 12,000 miles on the car and taken it to the track a number of times. It has also gone from completely stock to a naturally aspirated monster that can be heard from miles away. So let's jump into what it's been like to own this thing. For a bit of background on my car, it's a 2006 that I purchased with 60,000 miles on it. The car had one owner and then was briefly owned by the head of a large BMW service shop. He was planning on using the car as a summer toy, and went through the entire thing doing preventative maintenance items such as the Vanos bolts, all the fluids, anything that he could think of. He ended up wanting the cash for the shop instead, and when I called requesting a PPI on a gray Z4M that I had found, he asked if I'd rather have a black one. As you can tell, my answer was obvious. Here's something that you may find surprising though. In the time I've owned the car, I have had zero issues with it. Not a single hiccup, no odd sounds, broken parts, or even check engine lights. The only maintenance items that I have performed are basics: brakes, oil, coolant, and tires. I change the oil every 3,000 miles and do an oil analysis every time to watch for rod bearing wear. So far, the cost of my ownership has been next to nothing, which for a BMW M car is ridiculous. And although I've only put about 12,000 miles on the car, they have been quite hard ones. When this car leaves the garage, it's not to commute or run errands, it's to go driving. Simply, I don't own a car with an 8,000 RPM redline as a talking point. I really like to let this thing sing. Considering the way it's driven and the fact that I'm up to 72,000 miles now, this winter I'm scheduling the first major service item of my ownership: rod bearings. My oil analysis have been pretty consistently healthy, but there's no way to know how worn they were from the 60,000 miles that the car was driven under different ownership. At this point, the bearing service is more so a peace of mind investment than a 100% necessary one. I expect to spend around $1,500, and to me, considering my driving style, it's worth every penny to know the health of the bearings. I plan on keeping the car for a long time, so I don't see much point in waiting to replace them and pushing my luck. After 3 years, I can honestly say that I love this car as much as I did the first day with it. It's my toy, and I've modified it as such. It's loud, raw, and incredibly fun. For my purposes, there isn't another car at this price that I'd rather own, which is exactly why I still own it. It's the right size. It's a roadster with more chassis rigidity than E46 Coupe, and it has one of my favorite inline sixes of all time. Beyond the maintenance items such as the rod bearings, I plan on pushing the car's performance and involvement even further with a full coilover suspension, likely KW. In addition, I want to dial in more negative camber in the front to sharpen turn-in and reduce understeer a bit. Further in the future, I plan on switching over to 410 gears for additional acceleration and more frequent shifting. The car is geared long enough stock that you can easily run most roads in only second or third. I prefer to be shifting more frequently as I'm not really concerned with lap times, only fun. As time goes on, cars like the Z4M will only get more special. The age of the high-strung, naturally aspirated, analog sports car has come and gone. So if you have one, hold on and enjoy it. I plan to. So I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more, consider subscribing and checking out some of the other content on the channel. You can also follow me on Instagram @BuzzyTheBlue for a look behind the scenes and updates. Thanks.